Letter. What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Here we are, family. It is Monday, December 11th. Do you believe it? Happy Monday to you. Welcome to another day here in the Love and Life world. You know, I want to know how your weekend was. You knew I was going to ask because I do so every single week because I care. That's why. You know I do. You know I do. I pray you had a great weekend. I really, really, really do. And you know what? Before I say another word, I must express my gratitude to every single individual that came out to the Met on this past Saturday, December 9th, and to everybody who wanted to do so, quite honestly. I had the pleasure and privilege and once in a lifetime experience of opening for our beloved treasure, Patti LaBelle. And it was a magical and majestic night for me. Do you hear me? I mean, I don't know that there are enough words that would help me to describe for you what it feels like and what it felt like, just in order for you to understand. But it was definitely a night that I will never forget. Just never. Well, first of all, you already know I love her. I tell you that all the time. I love Patti LaBelle. Love her. Like, love her. But to be able to share the stage with her and to open for her, it I don't know, y'all. I don't know how to put it into words, but I just want to share and to say publicly that I just thank her for just being who she is, just unapologetically and authentically. You know, I just thank her, and I thank you for supporting me, because when I say that Philly showed up and showed out and y'all showed me so much love, y'all. Now I know we're family. Well, I should say I knew we were family, but I know we are family. Okay. I know it. I know it with every fiber of my being. And I thank you with every fiber of my being. How about that? How about that? How about that? Oh, and to that point, for those of you who were unable to attend, guess what? I have a holiday show coming up this week at South. December 15th, 16th, and 17th. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we can still hang out together. We can still celebrate this holiday season together. You know, I'm looking forward to celebrating the holidays with all of you. Nick, now, what did you do this weekend? I feel like I talked so much about myself. I didn't even say hello. Hi, Nick.
Hey,
Hi to our
Carol.
beloved Nick. How are you?
I'm all right. I believe it or not, I didn't do anything crazy this weekend, but it was just a good weekend. I usually have off on Friday, but I ended up working on Friday, and I
Okay.
didn't mind it. You know, that's extra money in my pocket. But over the weekend,
Of
all the
course.
shows that I had to do, whether it's with Word or with my family, they all went well. No hiccups, nothing strange. Had a really good show with David Barnes yesterday that
Oh,
I quite
nice.
enjoyed. You know, it was very engaging. And I'm not sure how, but Sunday evening when I got back from work, my little brother had brought over a dog, and just I guess there's another dog at the house now. So there's now four
Oh.
four chihuahuas just running around this house. Absolutely rabbit. It's
Wait,
but the
wait a
dog is
minute.
nice. It's a very nice dog.
Wait, wait. 4 chihuahuas. Now, Nick, that sounds like madness, chaos, and mayhem.
It's all barking and scratching, but they don't, they're chihuahuas. They have all this energy, but I don't know. I was like, hey, this dog can't stay here, and it was like after an hour, I was like, all right, this dog's
Now,
kind of cool.
I was about to say, now you will never win that fight. We love the fur babies too much. That's all they have to do is just look at us once, and then that's it. Then we say, okay, well, maybe for a little bit. You can stay a little while.
Yeah, me nervous. He was like, oh yeah, this dog bit somebody. I'm like waiting for the dog to bite me. Every time I call the dog's name, it just shows up. And it's like, yeah, what's going on? I like that
Oh, see,
dog.
he
He's a nice dog.
loves you. Oh, I love that when see that? You have a good heart, Nick. That's why he just took to you. I love it. I love it. Well, you know what? I'm glad you have a new fur baby in your family. Welcome to the new baby. Welcome. What's the new baby's name?
His name's Chico.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be like Chico? Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be Chico? Why would it be anything else?
He's a shorter chihuahua than all the other ones, but he's nice. He's very nice.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. Well, welcome, Chico. Welcome to the Steptoe family. How about Chico Steptoe? I love it. What a name. Well, family, for those of you who are celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you. I love celebrating. Y'all know I do. You know I do. I tell you all the time. So, family, if you're joining us by way of socials, let us know, please. Share a comment on our socials. Send us some love. Or you can even give us a call. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free. And you can do that by dialing 1-866-361-0900. That's if you'd like to share some love with us verbally. Either way you share it, though, Nick and I will take it gladly. Okay. And to you, those of our family members whose hearts are just a little heavy today, just know that I'm sending you some extra love and hugs. You hear me? I'm sending you extra love and hugs on behalf of your entire tribe and village, because I want you to know that you are not alone. You got us. You got this. Okay? We are here and we got you. We got you. You're not alone. All right? All right, family, let's get started. Some of our family members are beginning to check in. Sandra Streeter, hey there, beautiful. Oh, thank you. You were at the show. Thank you so much. Sandra Streeter is checking in. She's sending love, as is Cheryl Brown. Hey there, beautiful. She's sending blessings and love to everybody. I just love it. Heidi Claire, hi there, beautiful. Hi, Miss Heidi. She's checking in and she's saying, keep spreading love. You know I'm going to do that. You know I am, to all you love bugs out there. And Nasir, brother Nasir, hey there. You know I like to know what you've done, because Nasir has the calendar of all calendars. But he's sending peace and blessings to everybody. And Ruben Mills is checking in as well. Welcome, Ruben. Thank you for joining us. Family, what I want to do is introduce you to our guest in this hour. All right, as we get started, I want to let you know that our first guest is named Lamont Jones. You say, who is he? Well, let me tell you. He is a boxing business attorney, an executive, and author of the book The Gist of Bid Whist. Yes. For all of you Bid Whist fans out there, I am expecting you to join this conversation. You know I am. So without further ado, family, I invite you to the conversation with none other than Lamont Jones. Hello there, family. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me.
So happy to have you here. So happy to have you here. Lamont, I like to talk with our family members for a little. I was sharing with Lamont family that I like to talk with you all for a minute, because I like to know what's going on with you and for you before, I introduce you to some new family members. And I was telling Lamont, I said, well, now we got to talk about Bid Whist. I don't know anything about Bid Whist. So Lamont is going to bring me up to speed. And I know I probably lost some points with some of you, because some of you were probably saying, what You don't know how to play bid whist? Well, I don't. I don't know how to play spades either. So guess what? You all are about to be mad at me. You're about to be mad. I know you are. But Lamont, again, welcome. Please tell our family members just a little about you.
Sure. I'm a card game enthusiast, born and raised in Oklahoma, now a proud resident of Chicago. In my day job, I'm a lawyer in the boxing business. I work with Al Heyman's Premier Boxing Champions platform, and I'm the author of The Gist of Bid Whist, which I wrote because I believe that card games connect people, and I believe that the rich story of Bid Whist deserves to be widely known.
You know what? There's some truth to that statement. Card games do connect people. I can identify and relate to that. I can definitely family. As I'm thinking about it, how many of you know how to play bid whist, spades, pinochle, all of that? How many of you? How many of you, particularly and especially bid whist? But how many of you are card games enthusiasts as well? I do want to share that some more family are checking in. Steve Manning is checking in. Hey, he says. And Malcolm, hey there, brother Malcolm. He's checking in and he's watching from West Mount Airy, listening as well. Still feeling the pain from last night. Yeah, well, you know what, Malcolm? I'm with you. Okay, I have my tail between my legs just as you because our birds did not take flight last night. Okay, I'm with you on that. I am with you. And Darren Lighty, hey, Darren, so nice to have you join us. You don't know how to play it either? Well, good, because Lamont is going to fill us in. He's going to tell us all about it. Malcolm says his black card is in danger too when it comes to cards. So it looks like we're all ready for the lesson. Darren says he knows how to play Go Fish. That's it. That's what he knows. So, okay, Lamont, I want to know first, because there's so much to cover in this hour.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to, now, one thing I do want to touch before we get into the book, because I have so many questions about the book and about the game itself. I shared with our family members that you are a boxing business attorney. Now, what exactly does that entail?
Well, our company manages more than 100 boxers, manages or advises more than 100 boxers, and we arrange big-time elite professional boxing matches. So when you see, Showtime pay-per-view or big-time matches on Fox, oftentimes that's associated with the Premier Boxing Champions brand. And as one of the lawyers for the company, I get a chance to get involved in a lot of that action.
So you negotiate the big contracts. That's what you're telling us. That's what that sounds like, Lamont.
Not necessarily, but there's a lot that goes into arranging matches and events and that sort of thing. So some of that work trickles down my way.
That sounds, you know what, that makes sense. So do you attend a lot of the fights, or are you just in the background?
Well, certainly background, but absolutely it requires attendance at events. So yeah, probably, we get out to, 10, 20 events a year for sure.
You know what? I didn't expect you to say that your attendance was required. That's interesting.
Yeah. We want to keep the relationships with the boxers and the people that we're in business with. So sometimes that requires some face-to-face time.
Sure. No, that makes sense. It makes sense to me, but I thought you were going to say, no. I handle things on the back end. I'm in the business side and, not always. I'm not there. Well, that's interesting. So, okay. All right. Lamont, what is bid whist? Tell us about bid whist, please.
So as you know, it's a card game, right?
Yes.
It's a partnership card game where teams pair up and try to win books or tricks, as they're called. But the thing that jumps out to me about bid whist is it's more than just a card game, because it's also a very potent force for connection, right? The smack talk is part of it, but the connection, the bonds that you build with the people you play with and the people in the room, those last even after the games are over, even after the competition has ended.
Well, that's true.
And I've heard a couple of folks say, I don't play and that sort of thing. And I want to sort of dispel the notion that, having card sense is some sort of mystical ability that you're either born with or you can never, enjoy the festivities. The reason I wrote the Just a Bid Whist is to break down the elements of card games and make it accessible to everybody, right? Because these skills are accessible to everybody, and the joy that they bring is worth learning the skills, applying them, and having fun playing games like spades and hearts and bid whist.
Well, you look, I want you to know that you have our family members talking. Okay. Steve Manning. Hey there, Steve. So happy to have you join us. He shares, don't feel bad. I don't know how to play either. And Cheryl says, thank you for joining us tonight, Lamont. Good evening to you. Nasir shares, I've never played cards a day in my life. You know what, family? Cheryl said, I play 500 pinochle and spades. Cheryl, I need to come visit you because I don't know how to. Now 500, I'll give you a good run for your money. But pinochle and spades, I don't know. Man, my family, you know what? I'll tell you this because you said something. You said about like people about us coming together. So growing up, my family, well, my uncle had a speakeasy, but my family had a card game going every day. Every day. But pinochle was the game of choice.
Mm-hmm.
And you were not an adult unless and until you knew how to play pinochle. So I guess I never grew up. But when you were talking about, the camaraderie and just the love, because there was and the smack talk, that was all day, every day with my family. But we as kids, we enjoyed it because it was so much fun watching the family. It's so much fun watching the adults in the family. But I'll tell you something. There were some fights sometimes over those card games too.
No doubt. I learned to play. I grew up playing spades. Fell in love with spades. When I went to law school is when I learned to play bid whist. And there were 4 of us. And if 3 of us, were gathered ready to play a game, and the 4th brother was in class, we'd go and get him and say, "Look, we need a quorum so we can conduct this business," right? So we were serious about the playing. But
what? So how many players are required to play bid whist?
4 players.
Just 4.
Two partnerships, 4 players.
Okay.
Yeah.
So So when you talk about the goal is to acquire a book or a suit.
Absolutely. So in the Just a Bid Whist, we start from the very beginning, right? We talk about what makes card games so special, right? How can they be both accessible to newcomers, accessible to people who not yet played, but also enthralling enough and sticky enough that veterans, play all the time and every weekend and every night, like your folks did in the speakeasy. So there's some magic to the cards that sort of allows that to happen, right? Mm-hmm. But the entry fee, the key to enjoying all this goodness is good, sound, fundamental card skills. And those can be attained by anybody. And we share those and break those down into Just a Bid Whist, starting with the very basics. So that's why I say the book is welcoming for everyone.
Well, family, here we are. Hello and welcome. If you've just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Lamont Jones, and we are talking about his book, The Gist of Bid Whist. Now, we're about to go to a commercial break in a moment or two, but when we come back, Lamont, I have a question for you. So I'm going to let you stew over it during the commercial break. But my question is, why bid whist? You're a card game enthusiast. I want to know why bid whist, especially and particularly. That's what I want to know. So family, guess what? If you have a comment or a question, feel free to join the conversation. You know what we do here on Love and Life. And you know that you can drop your comment or your question in the comment section. You can also give us a call. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. I want to know if you play bid whist. I want to know if you're a champion at bid whist. I want to know it all. That's what I want to know. Lamont and I both, we want to know. So Know that the phone lines are open and feel free to comment on our socials. But whatever you do, family, stay with us because we will be right back.
Dear WURD members, listeners, and supporters, thank you so much for helping us make our 2023 Empowerment Experience a success. Thank you to Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church for all that you've done, to the WURD hosts and staff for your tireless efforts, and a special thank you to Royal Zaraza for being on site today. And finally, we want to thank our sponsors, Comcast, Bank of America, Pico, Keystone First, the Philadelphia Water Department, Brown's Family ShopRite, Dietz & Watson Artisan Meats and Cheeses, Hers Snack Food, Amoroso's Bakery, and PHMC, Public Health Management Corporation. Please continue to stand with WURD. Again, we thank you for joining us for our 2023 Empowerment Experience. We are WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
For more than a decade, Comcast has been committed to bridging the digital divide in Philadelphia and across the country. From connecting people to the internet to opening doors for the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and storytellers, they are helping to create a future that benefits generations to come. Now, Comcast is expanding their efforts through Project Up, their comprehensive initiative to help build a future of unlimited possibilities. Backed by a $1 billion commitment to reach tens of millions of people over the next decade, Comcast is working to ensure all Philadelphians have the skills, resources, and opportunities they need to participate and excel in an increasingly digital world. This includes partnering with community experts to build a network of digital navigators, trusted individuals who help build awareness around initiatives like the government's Affordable Connectivity Program and teach critical digital skills to get more people online. Project Up, building a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/Project Up.
Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to build a future of unlimited possibilities.
Thank you for calling Penny, Pennsylvania's health insurance marketplace. How can I help?
Hi, so I was on penny.com. I know it's open enrollment for health coverage, but I'm worried about the cost and my prescriptions.
Don't worry. Penny gets you the lowest cost on high-quality health coverage.
Oh, awesome. Let's get started.
Just need a little... You're worth protecting. Enroll by December 15th at penny.com. That's PENNIE.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
This is your celebration.
I am Eternal Polk, and I'm Mark House. From the film Gaining Ground, The Fight for Black Land, we want to wish WURD
a happy 20th anniversary.
WURD.
Hey everyone, my name is Ricky Brown, the Community Engagement Specialist for Philadelphia Parks and Recreation, and I want to say happy 20th anniversary to WURD Radio.
Hi, my name is Osaze, and I'm here to wish WURD a happy 20th year anniversary, and they're really important in the community, and we need them, especially Shamari.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Lamont Jones, the author of The Gist of Bid Whist. I love it. I love it. Okay, so before the commercial break, Lamont, I was asking you, since you're a card game enthusiast, why Bid Whist? Now, after this question, I am going to ask you how we play it because I didn't let you finish that. But why Bid Whist?
Sure. Three things come to mind. All right. First and foremost, I think Bid Whist is sort of the ultimate card game, right? All of these games, spades, hearts, euchre, they're sort of branches from the same tree. They have common elements. But to me, Bid Whist is to these games kind of like Whitney's version of I Will Always Love You is to Dolly's classic original, right? The original is the foundation and it's excellent, but when you add, Whitney's wondrous voice and the additional musicality and that extra soul, you get something magical. And that's what Bid Whist is, in my view, relative to these other games. It sort of remixes the elements of the game, and it gives us something special. The second thing is, after I'd been playing Bid Whist for maybe 10 years, I began to learn that it had a special connection to the Black community. Before that, I didn't really, I'd grown up playing spades, I'd played some hearts, and I thought Bid Whist was just another game in the family.
Sure.
But a friend mentioned to me that the game was popularized by the Pullman Porters on their journeys across the country. And I began to pay attention and, run into people who say, oh man, I almost flunked out of college because of Bid Whist. And I just began to understand and appreciate the deep connection that Bid Whist has had with the Black community. And that enhanced, my love and respect for the game. And then thirdly, I may have mentioned this earlier, but as much as I enjoy the competition, as much as I enjoy the smack talk, and believe me, I can talk my share of the smack when it's time, I really appreciate the connection of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was driven home for me when my daughter was 8 years old. Her mom and I had gone through divorce. My daughter was talking to a therapist who asked, how she felt about her new life. And my daughter says, well, I'm sad and angry. And when the therapist says, well, have you told anybody about this? Aliyah, my daughter, in her 8-year-old way says, well, I've told my daddy, because when I'm with him, we're playing cards. And when you're sitting there playing cards, you got to talk about something, right? And that really drove home for me. And I started to reflect on the bonds I had formed with my law school buddies, the bonds I formed with other people playing Bid Whist. And that drives home for me the fact that it's more than just a card game. It's a force for connection. And I want to share that joy, that connection with other people. And that's a big part of the reason why I wrote the Just a Bid Whist.
So were you playing Bid Whist with your daughter?
Absolutely. And I saw someone in the chat mention earlier they play Uno or Go Fish. That's how it started with my daughter, right? We were playing Uno. And one day, she says Uno. And I said, oh, that's great. What color is the card you have left? And she said green. And I said, well, I'm going to put a wild card down and change the color to red. And she says, oh, that's no fair. She cries, she leaves the room, whatever. The next time we play, the same thing happened. She says Uno. I said, what color do you have? She says, red. I said, well, change the color to green. And when I did that, she threw down a green card and said, I win, right? She figured where I was going with it. So that's when I decided, you know what? I'm going to start teaching her, war. I declare war. And by the time she was 7 or 8, we were playing some serious Bid Whist.
I love that. We were taught gin rummy or 500 at her age. That was what we were taught to play. We went from Uno, Go Fish, and all of it to gin rummy. So I can definitely relate to that. So now
she would tell you, Carol, that her favorite page in this book is page 6, because it's a picture of her when she was about 8 years old, sitting at the table having won her first competitive Bid Whist game.
I love that. Wait, okay, so now I'm terribly sorry, family, because I'd asked you earlier, Lamont, how we play, and I did not give you the opportunity to finish sharing that with us. And I want to know.
This is fair. I think the best way for me to answer it, Carol, is to say, I break the book down into 5 sections, right? And section 1, as I mentioned earlier, is the basics of card games, and we get into that, starting with, hey, what is a book, or what is a trick, and what does it mean to follow suit, and what's a trump card, and all that. So we start with the very basics. Then we get into what I call Bid Whist's twists, right? And that's when you get into some of the terminology of Bid Whist, and that's when you get into some of the elements that separate Bid Whist from some of the other card games. As you go through the book, we get into, well, I'll say it this way. In part 3, and this goes directly to your question, because whenever you're playing a game like Spades or Bid Whist, you're going to have one of 3 roles, okay? Either you're going to be the person who's leading the hand, right? You told us what the trump suit is and that sort of thing, all right? Or you're going to be that person's partner. I call that person the supporting partner, okay? And if you're not the hand leader or the supporting partner, you're going to be one of the 2 defenders, okay? Trying to stop the offensive team, okay? So what we do in the Just a Bid Whist is I tell you what you need to do in each of those 3 roles, what your strategic imperatives are, what you should do, what you need to avoid doing, All right. So that's how we go about sharing the game. It's kind of like a workshop in a book, frankly.
Okay. Okay. So now, Lamont, I want to make sure I have at least a few, tidbits on how to play Bid Whist. I know that it's a 4-player game.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's similar to spades in how you were just explaining how you have your partner and you're playing against the other two. Is it 2-on-2, or is it?
You're exactly right. It's very similar to spades, right? And again, spades, hearts, Bid Whist, bridge, they're all branches from the same tree. They're like sibling games. So some of the common elements, or some of the elements of spades and hearts, they'll serve you well in Bid Whist because it's the same concepts.
So
to your point, like, what are some of these concepts? You've got to follow suit, right? You've got to understand what the trump card or what the trump suit is, and that sort of thing.
Okay, so if the goal is to acquire a book or suit, am I looking to acquire 2 in the same suit for the whole suite, or what am I?
See, you're throwing some gin rummy concepts on me, but let me explain it in this way. And this is how I explained it to my daughter when she was 6 and 7 years old, right?
Okay.
But in the earliest game, it was called Whist. I call it Old Whist. And Old Whist was the most popular game in the world, in the 1600s, the 1700s, the 1800s. And I didn't say the most popular card game in the world. It was the most popular game in the world, right?
Wow.
And the way they played that game was, they deal out all the cards to the 4 players, and they just see, which partnership could win the most tricks. And you win a trick by, if the first player plays a heart, for example, whichever player plays the best heart in that round is going to win that trick or that book. Okay. So in Old Whist, when you deal out the cards like that, there are 13. Each player will hold 13 cards. So you try to see which partnership can win the most out of those 13. Okay, and that same concept has followed through spades, through Bid Whist, through bridge, etc. So the basic element is out of the 13 cards each player is initially dealt, how many of the tricks can your partnership win?
How many of the tricks?
Or the books, yes.
Okay, or the book. Okay, yeah, see, I don't know the terminology either. You see, I have to get the terminology too.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, all right.
In my defense, Carol, I'll say, I think I break it down a little bit better in the Just a Bid Whist than I did just there, because, like I said, we start at the beginning and go right through.
So you really dig deep in the book. You're just giving us, some of the, some of the ingredients in the stew, but in the book, you really dig deep.
Absolutely, because the objective is to get more people playing the game, get more people talking about the game, sharing the joy that the game has brought me over all these years. And I think this is the best way I know to do it.
So you feel that I would receive more joy from Bid Whist. This is the game of all games.
100%. Not just the fun, not just the competition, but the relationships with the people at the table, the relationships with the people in the room, the laughter, the joy. That's it. That same vibe that you noticed in your folks' speakeasy back in the day. That's part of that joy. So
you know what? And I think you alluded to it earlier when you were sharing the story about teaching your daughter, how to play the different games. But why does Bid Whist mean so much to you?
Mm-hmm. I would say because of the relationships that I've formed with some of the people that I've played with. That's a big part of it. Because I'm competitive by nature, and I want to win and thwart and beat whoever I'm playing with. But that extra element, the fact that the game has this rich cultural backstory, that kind of seals the deal for me. That's why, for example, I insisted on putting a picture of the Pullman Porters on my book cover, because
I saw that.
Yeah,
okay.
I want to honor them and their contributions. And in researching the book, I learned that, not only did they play on their layovers, not only did they, when they traveled around the country, they were telling people about, the Great Migration and, what job opportunities might be available in this city or that city. They were sharing, hey, here's the latest jazz records out of New York, or here's the latest records out of Alabama. But they were also sharing their favorite pastime, their game. They played it so much they called it the Porter's game. They were sharing bid whist. And, that story was very fascinating to me. And then as I researched further, I learned that bid whist was very important for the Porters as well, right? Because they went through, some tough years as they were trying to get the Union fortified. And bid whist was one of the elements that kept them together and kept their morale up.
Wow. Oh, wow. So it held a great level of importance to them as well. Wow. Family, thank you for that, Lamont. Thank you so much, family. For those of you who have just joined us, welcome. We're so happy to have you here with us today on this Monday, December 11th. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. Brother Malcolm shares that he's been to after-hour spots when the games were going on and it would get heated. Yes, Malcolm, same here. I'm telling you, my family's card games, they would get heated, and especially when you add other elements like alcohol. That made for a totally different story. Cheryl is sharing a song. Cheryl, I want to hear this song. This song is about pinochle. And she talking about the song goes, the rubbing of the head, hi-ho, the dairy-o, the rubbing of the head. Cheryl, I want to hear this song. I want to hear it, okay? Miss Lily is joining us. Hi there, Miss Lily. So happy to have you. Always, always, always. And Darren, hey there, Smitty. Smitty says he'll see me on Friday. Well, I'm so glad that you will. I am so glad that you will. Eric is joining us, just Rick. And he shares, welcome, Lamont. I remember when my friends taught me how to play spades in my teens, and I was so excited of how much fun and competition there was. And I know quite a few guys and girls in the military who love to play bid whist. I'm telling you, so I've heard the name mentioned in different circles, bid whist, but I didn't know, I never knew anyone who actually played it. And I will share that I was being taught how to play spades once by the great Will Downing. You were talking about him earlier, offline, family, because I know you're saying, wait, I didn't hear that part of the conversation. It was offline. But he was teaching me how to play spades. I only played it one time, had a great time, but did not retain because I didn't play it enough. And listen, family, I know how y'all are when you play these games. Like you said, Malcolm, it can get pretty heated. If you don't know what you're doing in spades, you had better listen, fall back. I want to know, is the energy the same with bid whist? Because it's serious. Spades is serious. Okay.
Listen, you're onto something with that, right? And that's this is a big part of why I wrote the Just a Bid Whist, right? Which is, you hear the smack talk, you walk into a room, you don't necessarily know how to play, you hear the smack talking, as Malcolm said, it can get heated, right? That's a little bit intimidating, right? When I left law school, I moved to a different city and I didn't have anybody to play bid whist with, right? But I would see in the newspaper, like some card game stuff. And as it turns out, it was from the game of bridge. I didn't know how to play bridge. So I couldn't decipher the stuff that was in the newspaper. So what I did is I went to a bridge club and started taking bridge lessons. And what I learned was, number one, you can't just go to the club and learn to play bridge in one night. As a matter of fact, you have to sign up for an 8-week course, okay? 2 or 3 hours each Monday night. And after that 8-week course, you're pretty much a beginner in bridge. But I thought, man, what if bid whist could be taught in that same structured, unintimidating way, right? How many more people could we welcome to the table? How many more people would be able to experience this joy? And that is exactly why I wrote the Just a Bid Whist. I want to teach the game in a welcoming fashion, no stress. And by the time you get through this little workshop, now you can go to the table and be comfortable and contribute and have fun, and then engage in the smack talk.
You said 2 hours. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Family, did you hear that? I love it though. I mean, that is dedication. That's what that is intentional. I love it because that's what we are. That's what we do, especially when we want to know and we want to excel at whatever it is we're trying to learn. Family, guess what? It's time for just another short commercial break, but stay with us because we will be right back.
Tune in to Cafe Mocha every Sunday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Cafe Mocha is radio from a woman's perspective. Check out the flavor from the hosts, comedian and actress Lonnie Love, hip-hop legend Yo-Yo, and broadcast veteran Angelique Perrin as they bring their point of view to today's issues, social commentary, celebrity interviews, and self-help advice wrapped in a soundtrack of urban contemporary music. That's Cafe Mocha, Sundays at 8 p.m. only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
King C. Gillette wants you to have noticeably better facial hair, and they make it easy. Just trim, wash, and soften for facial hair that feels as good as it looks.
Small businesses are the heart of America, but you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with SCORE. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
WURD Radio is sharing a harvest for the world. Now through December 31st, visit wordradio.com to find information on upcoming Give Back events in the Philadelphia area. If your organization is hosting free clothing giveaways, food drives, free workshops, community dinners, and more, please share the details using the form on our website. Visit wordradio.com and look for the Harvest banner. It's harvest time, and we're sharing information on those giving back to the community. The Harvest is brought to you by Comcast, PECO, Keystone First, and the United Way. We are WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Lamont Jones, and we are talking about his book, The Gist of Whist. There is something that I did not share with you earlier in the episode, and I would be terribly remiss if I did not do so. So I'm going to do it now. What I want to do is extend our gratitude to everyone who joined us this past Saturday for our annual empowerment experience held at Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church. Just special thanks to Reverend Dr. Alan Waller and the Enon family, the entire Enon family, as a matter of fact. Thank you to our beloved DJ Tactics for powering the music, to Mika Johnson from All Black Everything for facilitating the virtual live shopping experience, to Royal Zarasa and Brown's Family ShopRite and partners for the food selections. Thank you as well to our sponsors, and most of all, just thank you, family. Thank you to all who showed up and showed out by supporting our vendors and giving the gifts of culture this holiday season. The 2023 Empowerment Experience was sponsored by Comcast, PECO, Keystone First, Bank of America, the Fittler Club, Hers, Dietz & Watson, Amorosos, and the Philadelphia Water Department. Before we move further, family, I do want to share that our family members are continuing to comment. Malcolm shares, right, Carol? I would just lay back in the cut and sip on my drink and laugh and hope no fights would break out. And Pamela, hi there, beautiful. Thank you for joining us. She shares, these games are a rite of passage in our family. Cards and Scrabble. We are in Indiana. I'm from Philly. We played pinochle from a very early age in life, 7 to 8 years old. There are many lessons to learn: counting cards, yes, colors, knowing the suits, etc. She shares that she moved out there and had to learn spades and whist. She hasn't gotten very good yet. But she said the kids have coined the phrase, there are no fiends in phase 10. Oh, there are no friends, would it be? There are no fiends in phase 10 or there are no friends? I'm sure. Not sure. And Will Downing, I shared, Will, that you taught me how to play spades. He said cards are serious business. Okay. Will Downing himself, he shares cards are serious business. Okay. I want to take a moment to go to our phone lines. Pam is joining us on line 1. Hey there, Pam. Welcome to the conversation.
Hi, Carol.
Hi.
Thank you for taking my call. This is a topic that is very close to me because I started writing and all of the memories started flowing forward. And so it's supposed to be friends. There are no friends in phase 10. And he was only about 8 years old, but we have played card games with the kids since they were little. They're in their 20s now. But I had one cousin who at like 7 years old, she could play pinochle so well, we didn't let her play with her mother because they would beat everybody because Jada just had it. She knew exactly what to do in cards. And she's only like 7 years old, and she's smart and she caught on. And with Bid Whist, where I live is between Indianapolis and Chicago, and they play lots of cards around here because it's so cold, and that's the way you stay warm. You have all kinds of crazy things going on. And
I love it.
All the trash talking.
See, but I love that. Like you said, it's a rite of passage.
It is. And they sit down at the table and we write down all the suits and what everything counts for and all that kind of stuff. And they watch the oldsters play first. And then we bring in one of the youngsters and just add them. They start playing right beside us, and we play a lot of rise and fly. I think they do that in Bid Whist also. And the gentleman who wrote the book, I can't wait to get it. I have to get it before Christmas because I know who I want to give it to for Christmas, my sister-in-law.
Oh, I love that.
She teaches me, she's been teaching me how to play Bid Whist and this uptown and downtown and all the terms, and I'm not as good as the kids.
Isn't that usually how it goes? That was the way it was in our family. If I'd stayed with it, I'd probably be good at it too.
And then Scrabble is the other rite of passage game.
You for us it was Pokino.
Okay. Yeah, it's just fun. We get together and then we have some of the diehard old heads who talk so much trash, and they do not lose. They would rather throw the cards in.
Yes. Because it's real. It is so real.
Yeah. So, that's something that I'm very thankful that we've had the opportunity to do. I mean, the kids have even learned they want to take a picture of the hands that they have. They say, I got to take a picture of this hand because y'all will never believe this.
See, that's how real it is. We said it's real. If you want it, that's real.
That warms my heart, Carol, because you know, especially the young people playing, right? Because first of all, you can kind of sneakily teach lessons with card games. Lessons about teamwork and communication and strategic thinking and taking the right risks and that sort of thing. So it warms my heart that the idea of young people playing Bid Whist and other card games. And then the other part of it, though, for me is, if we don't pass down these recipes, we can lose it because
you're right.
Bid Whist it shares this sort of demographic challenge with bridge because people think of it as a game. I'll tell you this: when I first met my wife on one of our early dates, I thought things were going well, and I said, "Hey, listen, do you play Bid Whist?" And she was like, I don't play that. You know, that's an old person's game. And you know, I'm like this fast, right? Said, my daddy will sit there and play bid whist all day and all night. And I was like, it's not right. You know,
there it is.
Now we got something we can work on. But if we don't, you know, preserve the game and pass it down, then we lose it. And
all of these games, though, Lamont, I'm sorry to have interjected, but to your point, all of these games, and like you said, there's so much that we can teach the little ones, so much that we learned from it. Let me tell you one thing. We learned about the ways of the world, because when we talk about playing cards and we talk about how real it is and how serious it is, and just like Pam just shared, she said some of her family members, they don't play. It is what it is. And like you said, you were teaching your daughter, you know, the lesson. That's a lesson of what's the way of the world, because they're not going to cut you any slack. And our family members, they did the same with us. If you win, you win. If you lost, you lost. And it made us want to try harder. It made us want to play more, but it also gave us more family time together. We used to play Pacino every Friday night. That was my family's game. We played Pacino, and you had, like, even the little ones, because we would always say, we want to play. Well, listen, you've got to learn first. You've got to learn how. So we had to pay attention, learn the rules, but we also got together. So to your point, about family and about camaraderie and about relationships and all of that, I mean, I'm with you on that. I have another one of our family members waiting to join the conversation for a moment. Ron is online too. Hey there, Ron. Welcome to the conversation. Hi, Ron.
And everyone. They was talking about you on Saturday. People came in. Where's Cal? And they got on me about, Ryan, all somebody got to do is mention Cal's name and you go off to the races. Oh, no. But the most important thing I thought about Saturday, Cal, Miss Barbara came in. Miss Barbara was, her mother and them was an educator back in with Dr. Ruth Hare and them at the Dunbar School. And Miss Cal was going through a metamorphosis. And the reason I thought about you, she came out there on her walker. And she was saying, because she heard me on the radio talking about Williamsburg, which I want to go there. I heard about it to get some reflection back, how it used to be, you know, coming out of slavery there and that Southern Africa. And, you know, we got so much to be thankful for. So they asked me, which I told her that Cal was on her musical tour, spreading love. And I was talking to all the ladies at the different table. And, you know, Cal, it's just so very nice when we look around all the things we have done and we're going to do and all like that. And when I think about Miss Barbara, she came out on her walker. To be so nice to come out there and to share something with me, which I didn't know about. I thought about you when you cried for that gentleman, but your name escaped me right now. That she was in the same, you know, zone that gentleman was in. And it was very touching. That when people come together, whether it's at the Met, whether it's at the church there, all those places are significant. When people come together, and people that care for people through the music, through expression, it really can make a difference in life. So I want to thank all the people that was there. We had a chance to chat with a lot of the females. The majority was a lot of females there. And that was so important. And I was sharing with Miss Barbara in particular about my reason for speaking about a particular no hanky-panky mess. I don't do that. And I told them the reason why. And I said to her, my reason, I explained the reason why. You know, it's nice to have many things in life, but to be so mindful of someone else is not on the level that you're on, Cal. It's not a great level, but on the foundation of the infrastructures of people's life, and Mr. Will and all the ladies you had on last week, and so many others. And I say this out of beauty, the whole South Philly is my hope, and I know people probably they can think what they want. That's all right, though. And I'm stopping thinking, and my question I want to bring to the listening audience, how many people in numbers have been very successful in their career and have the time to come back to their community, not only sing a song, but have a hand outreach program? What a wonderful thing to do, ma'am. I know we have people doing community work, and for you to be where you're at today, God hope is my hope. I don't wish for nothing. It's my hope that people like yourself that is traveling, it can be very tedious, that the gift God will give you, beloved, and many others like you, man. But we give Cal health and strength to continue to do that. And I'll close with this. You know, Cal, when you speak and you sing those songs to someone else, it comes right back. It's 360. It comes right back to you. And you never know who life you're touching. I'm not talking around and nothing like that. But just a kind. And that gathering there, I start to think about, look at the people. Look at the people in this place here today, the females and all of them that's here today. To take a little time out and together. When people do that, we're really eulogizing one while we live and we commune with them and hear the entertainment and all go like that. That's not morbid. Because if you live and pass away, it's what you do in life. You may can't do what Cal does or anyone else does. But you just can extend a kind word and it can change someone's life.
Indeed.
So thank you for everything you're doing. And I hope y'all, I know you said that on the Christmas show that people, Mr. Bill and them going to be, I hope people will get out and to support that. I know it got to make you feel good when your community that you come from and any others could come out and say, thank you, Cal. That's a wonderful thing. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Ron, thank you so much, as always, for your vulnerability, for your transparency, just for pouring into each and every one of us positively, as you always do. We love you, Ron. We do. Family, stay with us because I have some more questions, just 2 more questions for Lamont, because we need to know from where we can buy this book. And I have another exciting guest for you to meet in the next hour. So stay with us, family, because we'll be right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on The Source.
Councilmember Anthony Phillips, who is the 9th Councilmatic District, who is from Borough Home to East Oak Lane to parts of Germantown to parts of the Northeast. Listen, caller wants to know his plan for children, since 2 rec centers in Albany are closed at the same time. Without the rec centers, the kids turn to the streets.
Good question. So that is why, since I started in office, and thank God you all had the opportunity of helping me get in the office to serve. I've listened to people say that, and that's why I was so adamant about making sure that Albany Rec Center opened back up. And so they're actually starting construction within the next 2 weeks on Albany Rec Center. Before the end of the year, they're doing a groundbreaking to get that started. It should be up and ready by the end of 2025.
And that's the hottest 60 seconds this week on The Source on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Thank you for calling Penny, Pennsylvania's health insurance marketplace. How can I help?
Hi. So I was on penny.com. I know it's open enrollment for health coverage, but I'm worried about the cost and my prescriptions.
Don't worry. Penny gets you the lowest cost on high-quality health coverage.
Oh, awesome. Let's get started.
Just need a little... You're worth protecting. Enroll by December 15th at penny.com. That's PENNIE.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Could you be the person who gives a kid their forever family? Across Pennsylvania, kids in foster care are waiting for a family of their own.
My name's Keyshawn. I'm 17, and I want a family that will love me for me. I'm tired of moving, and I'm ready to accept someone in my life to have them as my forever family.
Meet the kids and learn how you can become a foster or adoptive parent. To learn more, visit adoptpakids.org. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Lift up your voice, let it be heard. There is power in your word, word radio.
Cody Anderson was a pioneer and a giant in broadcasting, especially to the Black community. He was the former owner of WHAT 1340 AM, longtime general manager and president of WDAS 105.3 FM, and he was the first general manager of WURD Radio. Mr. Anderson is credited as the person who influenced WURD founder Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD, to buy the station. Cody Anderson wasn't just the general manager for WURD. He also co-hosted the weekly Electric Magazine show with Vicki Leach. Cody Anderson was a beloved member of the WURD family.
I believe that, and this is personal, it doesn't necessarily mean this is the rule, but I believe the role of Black radio is to educate, inform, to share information with this community that we're the center of. And we are, in fact, the center of this community. And I know that this community hangs on every word. And I found out some time ago what it means to this community, this radio station.
This 20th anniversary vignette was brought to you by Bank of America, the United Way, Comcast, and Wells Fargo. We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD Radio, 900 AM and 96.1 FM, WURD, Philadelphia. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. Streaming online at WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life. Yes, it is. We are talking with none other than Lamont Jones, and he is sharing with us about his book titled The Gist of Whist. Now, Eric, I saw your question. I don't want you to think that you were forgotten, okay? Because I did ask during the commercial break, and Lamont shared that no, not yet. The casinos have not yet introduced Whist. So family members, for those of you who are wondering to what question that was the answer, Eric asked, there are so many card games at all the surrounding casinos. Have any of them introduced Whist? And Lamont shared, not yet. And to Will Downing, I see you clowning me in the comments. I just want you to know he shares that he had the pressure. Okay. I did not bring any pressure. Talking about some sweet Lord. You know what? You are a mess. You are a mess. That's what you are. But before you leave us, Lamont, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for coming and sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your intention, your spirit, and your knowledge with us. But before you leave us, would you please share with us from where we can purchase your book?
Sure. Well, Carol, it's an honor to spend some time with a person who's created such a lovely community, and especially a person who's so talented and accomplished that she's shared the stage with the great Will Downing and the legendary Patti LaBelle. So thank you for having me this evening. I really appreciate it. And I hope that people will go to Amazon and go to barnesandnoble.com to purchase The Gist of Whist. And if you want to learn more about the book, or if for some strange reason you want to learn any more about me, check out my website. It's called gistofbidwhist.com. I really appreciate being here and talking about Whist, because we want to share this game with people. We want to share the joy that it brings. So thank you for having me.
I just can't thank you enough. Now, I'm hoping that you will come back, because now that we've started this conversation, I believe we're going to have a lot more conversations about these card games, and particularly Whist, because once our family members acquire your book, listen, we're going to need some guidance. We're going to need the pro, to converse with us.
We got to talk about it. Absolutely.
All right, that sounds like a plan. Well, thank you so much. And we will see you when you visit with us again. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us? Because I want to make sure our family members are well versed in the gist of Whist.
Whist is the ultimate card game. It's accessible for everybody. I encourage you to pick up The Gist of Whist and start your Whist journey.
You hear that, family? You heard it. You heard it right here on Love and Life at WURD. Thank you, Lamont. Thank you so much. And we cannot wait to see you on your return. Thank you. Take care. Thank you. Family, OMG, did I not tell you? Here we are, Monday, December 11th. We got some fun here tonight, don't we? Y'all didn't even know we were going to talk about card games and all that good stuff. Well, guess what? We got some more good stuff. Some more good stuff that we're going to talk about as well. I was sharing with you that I have another boop that I want you to meet. She's one of our beloveds. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I've known her forever. Okay, forever. But she is the founder of the Soul Sanctuary, which is a Philadelphia-based nonprofit arts education foundation established in 2002 to preserve and uplift positive urban culture. Now, that's what you call family. Okay, that's what you call family. So, family, I introduce you and invite you to the conversation with none other than Stephanie Renee. Hey there, beautiful.
Hello, darling. How are you? It's good to be with you tonight.
I will not complain. You hear me? I will not complain. You know, it's so crazy because I had not seen you in eons, ran past you at Deanna Williams's birthday party. I mean, and it was literally a run. It was literally like a hey. It was
There's a lot going on.
There was so much. I mean, it was so much fun though. So much fun. But thank you so much for coming to spend some time with us, to visit with us, and to talk with us about all of the positivity that you are spreading. Because we like to know. We like to know.
Well, I appreciate the invitation to to share this information, because I think what better place than the birthday party of one of our celebrated legends, someone who has definitely been a friend and a mentor to me. And we were gathered for such a festive occasion, right? The double celebration of Deanna's birthday and her beautiful mama.
Yes.
And and everybody dressed and festive at a day party, and yet at this gathering of all these wonderful cultural folks from our community and up and down the Eastern Seaboard, really discreetly, we found out that we had lost another one of the beloved members of our community in the way of Azell Dixon. And right then, in that moment, was the start of what has now turned into the Sick-Witted Health and Wellness Symposium that I'm going to be co-hosting this coming Saturday, December 16th.
Wow, Stephanie, I had no idea that. Oh, wow. What? So, family, you all heard me talk about Azell, our beloved. You heard me share just how much of a loss there is to the community, to our entire. Oh, the baby! Give the baby some sugar lumps from me. You hear me?
I was gonna say, you hear. This is my dog fluffing his bed in the background.
Listen,
so we have to give him a moment.
First of all, they already know because my sugar lump is right here behind me, but she's learned. She naps now while I'm on the air.
Okay.
But family, I was sharing that I had shared with you all about the loss of our beloved Azell Dixon. A huge loss to the entertainment world and to just Philadelphia, the tri-state alone, because he is so loved. I hate that I say that, or we say that, when someone is gone, because we still love them.
Yes.
We still love them.
Yes.
So he is so loved. He is so, so, so loved. Ms. Stephanie, you know what? For our family members who might be unaware or unfamiliar, I don't know how that's possible, but could you share with them just a little about you? Just a little about you.
Well, goodness. Where do I start? So there are, depending on sort of where people have come into their familiarity with me, there is a whole group of people that knew me as a spoken word artist. Then there's a group of people that knew me as a vocalist. And then I'm sure there are people in your viewing and listening audience tonight that know me for the 6.5 years that I spent as a part of the WURD staff. So regardless of where you come into your knowledge of who I am, Philadelphia is my adopted second home, because I was born and raised in DC and came here to go to college at Penn, and have never officially been able to quit this doggone doggone city. I love Philly. And so, I leave and come back and leave and come back and leave and come back. So, I'm definitely in my I'm here moment, and certainly think of Philly as family and think of WURD as family. And so it is great to be able to just, kind of merge all of these different phases of me into where we are today.
I love it. Well, listen, we're women. We're multifaceted.
Yes.
We're women. You okay? We tend to say it like, well, I did this, I did no. That just speaks to our diversity and to, just the brilliance that we are. That's all, as human beings. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Steph, I would love for you to also, first of all, thank you for that. But I would love for you to just share with our family members as well about Soul Sanctuary.
Yes, so Soul Sanctuary is one of those fever dreams that became real, because it was sort of in the wake of losing the venue that many of us remember as Wilhelmina's, and being a fixture in the spoken word scene. I was like, why doesn't Philly have a New Eurekan? Why don't we have a place that can be a destination for tourists to come and experience the culture that we know is so vibrant in this city, has been for generations of artists. And so that was the impetus to begin Soul Sanctuary. And then, as many people are aware, maintaining a venue in Philly is difficult. For all the different reasons. They say that, people who are part of, I guess you can say, the bohemian set that groomed me and raised me in this city don't drink enough, don't participate in the vices that keep the nightclub scene going. And I didn't want to lose the real foundation of what Soul Sanctuary was supposed to be. And so I sort of scaled it back and retooled it so that we are now a nonprofit arts education foundation. And that's how we've been operating, with all different kinds of live events and a streaming radio station and all these different ways to continually expose people to the greatness that exists in our local community, and also to connect Philadelphia to the larger conversation that's going on about I say urban culture, because it's not necessarily Black. It is definitely heavily rooted in the Black experience, but it is not exclusively Black. So for people that understand what soulfulness is about, and understand how to get to that in their expression, that is who we support. And that's what you will hear throughout our programming and whenever you walk through the doors of our events.
I love that. I love that. Stephanie, I just want to share with you that some of our family members are commenting, and they are sharing so much love with you, as was expected. The beautiful Sandra Streeter shares, hello, my sweet sister, Stephanie Renee. I love that. I love that. I love it. And Eric shares, yes, Stephanie is a jack of all trades and master of many. I love that too. That's love, Steph. That's love. And Miss Julie, hi, Miss Julie. She shares, oh my, she's delayed in greeting everyone, but the love is the same. She shares, good evening, Stephanie Renee. It is so good to see you. Whenever I think of you, I'm reminded of how you shared your chiropractor with us. It made such a difference in our lives.
Dr. Lee, I miss him. He moved back to the West Coast. So yes.
You know what? My primary care physician did the same thing. Broke my heart. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I'm ready to fly to Palm Springs to get my annual physical.
Out to the desert.
You hear me? He said, I don't want to see anybody, none of you. But I'm so ready to go find him out there. I miss him so much. I really, really do. Miss Lily, our beautiful Miss Lily, she shares, says, Stephanie, I love your look.
Well, thank you. Thank
Always.
you. I need to explain. So, part of, I always appreciate a good head wrap, but this is also now that I am no longer locked and my hair does not curl the way it once did, we have to wash and twist and groom. And so, because I got a lot going on this week, we had to keep it covered tonight so that I can be appropriate when I greet you all on Saturday.
Listen. Well, you look beautiful. And let me tell you how I overstand, because during this maturation process, this hair journey, and we've talked about that too on the show, but this hair journey, especially when you change anything having to do with whatever your hair is doing naturally, when you change anything, you have to retrain it, and it takes so much time. You have heavens to Murgatroyd. I had this conversation just yesterday.
Well, I was going to say what I think there are probably people in the listening audience that don't know necessarily the health journey that I've been on over the last 4 years. And the hair is just one part of it, right? Because, because of the grace of the Creator and the marvels of modern medicine, am I even able to be sitting here and having this conversation with you today? And that was such another push toward this event that's going on this weekend. But I discovered toward just before Thanksgiving in 2019 that I have chronic myelogenous leukemia. And the chronic is important because it is a chromosomal defect that I was born with.
Okay.
And, it waited until I got good and mature, until it decided it wanted to show off, and it almost took me out of here. And, if I had been diagnosed even 10 years ago, it would have required a bone marrow transplant. But because there are amazing doctors that have been doing research in this area, I take one chemo pill a day, and it keeps everything in check and allows me to go on. But what I think is really interesting is, when you hear chemo, people always worry about your hair falling out. And my hair didn't necessarily fall out. My eyebrows, I think, fell out more than my hair did. But it completely changed the texture of my hair. So people who remember when I had, just about shoulder length, naturally curly hair,
I remember.
It doesn't do that anymore. I think that came with the chromosomal defect.
Right. Wow.
So just things that you might even think of as intrinsically a part of you,
sure,
don't necessarily stay that way.
I'm taking a moment to digest everything you just shared. Number one, because I did not know, but number two, I can relate to that last statement. We think we know our bodies, and then, like I was sharing during the course of this maturation process, all kinds of changes and surprises come about, as you just shared. But Steph, God bless you. I did not know. I did not know. And thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I know you said, but God. Well, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I know you've thanked him, more than I.
All the time.
Yes. Family. Cheryl is sharing. Good evening, Stephanie Renee. Thank you so much for joining us. And Brother Malcolm shares, I know the pain of a bone marrow transplant.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. You know what? And now I as we are talking about your upcoming event this weekend, I was going to ask, was there anything else? What else contributed? What was the catalyst? What started it all? And you just shared it.
But it's also, so there's such a combination of things, right? Because honestly, the push was finding out about Azel's passing, because the last, I had seen Azel at a few gigs, but I ran into Azel a little over a year ago at CCP's Black and Gold Ball, their annual fundraiser. He was playing with the house band that was greeting people as you walked in and helping to create that festive atmosphere. And, we locked eyes when I walked in the room. And when they took their break, he came over to me, and Azel had known about my illness. And he was like, look at you. He was like, like, it's so good to see you out. It's good to see you looking healthy and like you look like yourself, like you're kind of back to your thing. How are you doing? And he was just tender in that moment, us having a conversation with him being concerned about my health journey and glad to see me out and about and doing what I do. And so I think that's what made it even more stark. When I got the information about him, I'm like, the last real conversation I had with Azel was about my health. And here it is that we've lost him prematurely. And so this notion of how do we take this realization of that we're here for a reason and we have access to information, we have access to people
Yes,
who
indeed.
can rally around an idea. And so quite literally, we're kind of whispering down the lane about Azel's passing at Deanna's party. And I looked around the room and I'm like, all of the people that I would reach out to say, what can we do to elevate this message of we are losing too many talented people well before their time. How do we get together to talk about taking better care of ourselves? And so, it started with me walking up to a few people in that room and going, look, if we do something, can I count on your support?
Right.
And, that has grown into what is now Sick With It.
Okay, so I want to talk about all things Sick With It when we come back from this commercial break. I do want to share Miss Rosalind is joining us. Hi, beautiful. She shares happy Monday and to the new day that the Lord has made. She gives you your flowers while you can smell them. Miss Rosalind, I didn't see your email. I thought I was expecting an email from you and I didn't. So we're going to talk about that later. But Miss Lily is also joining us and she shares, wow, praise God from whom all blessings flow. Sister Stephanie, glad to hear how you have persevered. Family, listen, we're going to take just a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to hear all about Sick With It. Sick With It. I'm sorry, get that right. Sick With It with Stephanie Renee when we return. So stay with us because we will be right back.
Dear WURD members, listeners, and supporters, thank you so much for helping us make our 2023 Empowerment Experience a success. Thank you to Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church for all that you've done, to the WURD hosts and staff for your tireless efforts, and a special thank you to Royal Zaraza for being on site today. And finally, we want to thank our sponsors, Comcast, Bank of America, Pico, Keystone First, the Philadelphia Water Department, Brown's Family ShopRite, Dietz & Watson Artisan Meats and Cheeses, Hers Snack Food, Amoroso's Bakery, and PHMC, Public Health Management Corporation. Please continue to stand with WURD. Again, we thank you for joining us for our 2023 Empowerment Experience. We are WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
WURD Radio Digital Tip of the Month is brought to you by Comcast.
Two-factor authentication, or two-step verification, is a security measure that requires you to provide additional information before you can log into a specific account online. You may have to enter a code that gets sent to you via text message or use an authenticator app. It's an extra step that might seem inconvenient, but it's there to keep you extra secure when you're shopping, banking, or connecting with others online using social media. Two-factor authentication is designed to keep you safe from unauthorized users trying to access your accounts, and it's definitely worth it. You can visit the different websites you use regularly and search the help section for security topics, ask a friend or relative to help you get set up, or type two-factor authentication plus the account you want to secure into Google. Any way you do it, adding another layer of protection to your online accounts is a good way to keep your information safe on the web. Stay tuned to WURD for more tech tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are joined with our beloved Stephanie Renee, and she is sharing with us about life right now. She is sharing with us about life. Just before the commercial break, she shared some information with me that, quite honestly, I'm still processing. And I mean, I know, listen, we're all good and grown, and I know, changes are always around every single corner. But, when you get used to navigating your own changes, you don't think about the changes that the next person is navigating. And then here we are. Here we are. I do want to share, and you did see this comment, but I do like for our family members to be included in the conversation. So I want to share that Arlette, hi there, beautiful, who is joining the conversation. She shares, Stephanie, I knew you were amazing, but you are blowing my mind tonight. She shares, simply amazing. CML is no walk in the park, and look at you. I felt it necessary. I know that message was for you, but I know there are other family members too who also need to see you being poured into and who also need to feel that love. And so I hope you don't mind, Arlette. I hope you don't mind, Stephanie, because that's what we do, because we love up on each other right here. We love up on each other. This is a tribe. This is a village. And that's what we do. That's what we do. I share with everybody. Listen, if we got something going on, we're going to deal with it together. We are going to deal with it. So Stephanie, because the hour goes by so quickly, I don't want to take another moment without you telling us about the Sick with It Health and Wellness Symposium.
Well, there are a lot of different pieces to it. So I want y'all to stick with me so that I can run you through this. Sick with It started out during the pandemic, because in the midst of all the craziness that was happening during shutdown, the uncertainty of 2020, I knew a lot of sister friends who had also been on their own health challenge journey.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us, now I can say that for me, it was minimal, but for a lot of us, the journey from diagnosis to treatment was very bumpy, because a lot of our modern medical establishment does not take Black women seriously when we know that something's not right with us, and are advocating to get the best possible care. And so I wanted to provide an outlet for these women I know who had been struggling and were on the other side of the hill in terms of getting better, and really in this moment where we were so preoccupied with COVID that some of us weren't thinking about making sure that we were getting medical care for other things that were going on with us.
Right.
So I created Sick With It as a podcast for these women to talk about their journey and to encourage people to get treatment for what was ailing them, but also to make sure that they were speaking up to get the kind of care that they deserved. And so it just seemed appropriate when at Deanna's party, we started putting together the foundation for this symposium, that the name and the intention of Sick With It would kind of be resurrected for this particular purpose. And so I want to kind of lay it out for people, because I think it is incredibly important for us not to be fearful of doctors, to go get some information so that you can begin to figure out what you need to do to get better, right? But a lot of us are so terrified, and I was one of them. So, right, I'm hoping that I'm preaching to the choir now, because I had my friends basically do an intervention with me at the beginning of 2019, and they were like, Steph, you have lost so much weight, like, you're not vibrant like you used to be. What is going on with you? And I'm like, I'm fine. But I was uninsured at the time. And I'm just like, paying for insurance and paying to go to a doctor is not in my budget right now. Like it's not a priority for me. And because I have a circle around me that loves me, they stayed on me about making sure that I did what I needed to do to get insured and all the other things. And literally, I got approved for my insurance. I made an appointment the very next day, and 3 days later is when I got the results back of the blood test that got me my diagnosis that kept me here. Because by then I had full-blown all kinds of symptoms. I had shortness of breath. I continued to lose weight to the point where, folks were deeply, deeply concerned about me. I was fatigued all the time. I had no idea what was wrong with me. And the last thing I expected was for the doctor to come back with something that was that intense. Before this diagnosis of the leukemia, I had never been in a hospital overnight. I had no idea what this would even mean. And so briefly, just in terms of my situation, I have from birth, right, encoded in my cells, one of my, a piece of my 9th chromosome broke off and attached itself to my 19th chromosome. And so I have all these cells that aren't doing what they're supposed to do, what they're designed to do. And at some point between stress and all the other things that happen in life, basically it flipped on a switch that told my body to massively start overproducing white blood cells. And so that is where that's why it's myelogenous leukemia, that it's not anything that could have been done per se to prevent this from happening. It was always kind of lurking in my cells waiting to be activated. And so here we are, right? But these are the kinds of things that if you are just trying to go on WebMD and figure out what's wrong with you on your own, that's not anything that I would have even remotely known to look for. I just had a whole bunch of symptoms that the doctors with the right tests could diagnose and tell me what was wrong with me. And then, because of the wonders of modern medicine, give me a treatment plan that I'm able to stick to. And that allows me to be here today and do this. But, this symposium is to introduce people to holistic practitioners in all different aspects of our health who are trying to help us get right. So we pull together folks that will help you mentally, your body, physically, your spirit, and your money. All of these things that we need to have in place to help us be on an even keel and live the lives that we're supposed to be living into old age. That's what we should be doing. And not enough of us are getting there.
Stephanie, okay. Can you tell us once again when and where the symposium will take place, from what time, all the information that we need?
Yes, ma'am. So it will be Saturday, December 16th, this coming Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the new location for the Painted Bride Art Center, which is 5212 Market Street in West Philadelphia, right under the L. So it doesn't matter if you don't drive, you can take SEPTA and get right there and come in and have easy access to all of these folks who are coming together to make sure that you have the information you need.
Is there an admission fee?
No, ma'am. It is free of cost. Keystone First is our presenting sponsor, and we have all other kinds of representation from wonderful individual practitioners and organizations that heard about this idea, said they wanted to be a part of it, and are coming in to make sure that folks have access to this. But it is particularly designed that, listen, everybody can come, but this is particularly geared toward people in our creative community. And the reason for that is because so many full-time creatives do
Mm-hmm.
not have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's not something we prioritize, and because creatives work the hours that we work.
Exactly. No, I just had a conversation about this, Stephanie. Because I'm in the process of trying to acquire better insurance. I had insurance which I thought was adequate. I thought and it was not.
Right.
It was not. So yeah, this has been an ongoing conversation for me, and quite honestly, and I should make everyone aware too, to be diligent, to pay attention, especially if you are seeking insurance or if you, and we're going to have someone come on and talk with us. I am looking for someone to talk with us to dig deep into this topic as well, because when I thought I had a plan, it wasn't the plan that was, and I did this over the phone, wasn't explained. What was explained to me was not what was sent to me. The card didn't even have the same name as everything to which I agreed. Nothing. It wasn't. So now I'm starting the process all over again. So I just, praise God for you, for having this conversation with us, because you're lighting another fire under me to keep me going, because I'm in the midst of this right now. And praise God for those who poured into you, who spoke to you, who stayed with you, who were diligent with you, who made sure that you took the necessary steps so that you could be here to talk with us right now.
Yes.
Just praise God for them. Family, welcome. If you have just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with our beloved Stephanie Renee. We are talking about love. We're talking about life, because we're talking about self-love right now. And we're talking about maintenance. We're talking about life. We're talking about maintenance. We're talking about everything under the umbrellas of both. Stephanie is sharing with us about what is called the Sick with It Health and Wellness Symposium, which will take place on December 16th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. At 5212 Market Street, which is now the new location for the Painted Bride, I believe you shared. Yes. I'm going to ask, because we're going to go to a commercial break in a moment, but I'm going to ask you to share all of this information when we come back, but to also share if there's a number or a website or any place that we can go for additional information. If we just want to have it, I do want to share with you that Kelly Sparrow Mickens is sharing light and love to you. She is sending all the light and love to you that she can muster and that you can handle. And Arlette shares that thank God for the queens in your life that would not let you be. Yes. She shares, for me, it was my husband. I had no friends like that. Well, thank God for your husband, Arlette.
Yes.
Thank God, praise God for your husband. And Cheryl is sharing that her sister had acute myeloma leukemia 2 years ago, and then breast cancer 2 months ago. She had a mastectomy 2 weeks ago. So her prayers will continually go
Blessings
up
for you,
for
sister.
you. Absolutely, Cheryl. Absolutely. And Miss Julie, our beloved. Hi, Miss Julie. She shares, Stephanie Renee, we gained so much from the guests who provided their health experiences, as had you. We're in another roadblock. Doctors not on the same page of care. We've had this conversation, the same thing you shared. We've had this conversation. She shares, my dear beloved succumbed. It began with a steroid that was not supposed to be distributed. Patent not renewed from their radiation and chemo burns. His doctor was ignored. The oncologist requested to know white cell count, missing him every day. Miss Julie, my prayers, my love go to you as well. Just to you as well. Family, once again, you are tuned in to Love and Life. And we're talking with our beloved Stephanie Renee. We're going to take just a short commercial break, but know that you can join the conversation. You can do so by phone, by calling 215-634-8065, or you can even call us toll free. You can do that by dialing 1-866-361-0900. You can also feel free to comment on our socials. I promise I'll do my best to read it aloud. But whatever you do, just stay with us because we love your company and because we're coming right back. We'll be right back.
Here's what you missed on Wake Up with WURD.
Nothing is more important than our children. At least that's what we say. But when the schools get browner, the money gets funny, the math gets fuzzy, the pickings get slim. Over 80% of the students in the Philadelphia public schools are students of color. So no one should be surprised that we don't have the money we need. Philly school system projects a $407 million deficit for the next fiscal year. In Philly, our schools have to wait on politicians. That wouldn't be so bad if they would just give the schools the money they need. Unfortunately, our leaders have given the school money to everyone else. Take developers, for instance. They get a 10-year tax abatement on new construction. So when those gentrifiers come into our neighborhood building million-dollar homes, they get 10 years without paying the full taxes on the property. But 55% of that tax money is supposed to go to schools. Bottom line, our schools should never be in a position where they're begging for money, because if nothing is more important than our kids, then their education comes first.
Tune in to Wake Up with WURD with Solomon Jones every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media.
The working families of La Una Labor District Council of Pennsylvania, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia are proud contributors to all aspects of growth in this great city. The Labor District Council provides safe, well-trained, productive workers who enable projects to be done on time and under budget. We appreciate our signatory contractors and their commitment to fairness and equality. Laborers, we're building a better future today.
Tune in to EcoWord Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 11 a.m. for the PA Lottery EcoWord Tip of the Day. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or a warm meal to eat, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
But the good news is there's an organization making a big difference. Covenant House.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and the tools they need to succeed in life.
I have no words to express how Covenant House changed my life. They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, and love, most of all love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges, and their lives are transformed.
Covenant House is changing the lives of young people in cities across America.
To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Attention WURD community. From December 1st through December 31st, we've got a special gift just for you. Sign up for a WURD membership during this exclusive period and enjoy a fabulous 50% off any one item in the WURD online store. That's right. Whether it's a WURD sweater, crew neck is my favorite, or anything else in our store, it's all yours at half price when you become a member this December. Your membership not only unlocks incredible discounts, but it also supports the uplifting Black Talk media you love. It's a win-win, so don't miss out on this limited time offer. Visit wordradio.com and sign up for a membership today. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with our beloved Stephanie Renee, who's been sharing with us about love and about life, and most importantly, about the upcoming Symposium, Sick-Witted Health and Wellness Symposium, which will take place on December 16th. That's right, this week. I do want to share that Harry is joining us, Harry Wims, and he shares, hey there, everybody. I loved the Steph Renee show. Loved. I love that. Love that. All this love. I just love it. I love it. And Cheryl shares, praise God for you sharing your journey and just sharing love for you, Stephanie. Just sharing love. And Miss Julie asks, to verify the address. And thank you for that, Miss Julie, because Stephanie, please share with us all the information. I mean, websites, I mean, telephone numbers. I mean, I want to know, will there be panels? Like what can we expect? All of that, all of it.
Yes, so there will be some organized activities happening, but we didn't want to make it necessarily as formal as a panel, because if you're only able to come through for the first half hour or the last half hour, there will be something happening. You don't have to worry about missing anything per se. Our practitioners are going to be there for the entire 4 hours, and they're looking forward to greeting you, to talking to you. Some of them are offering some mini sessions. So let me give you a kind of bird's eye view of what you can experience. My sister from another mister, Dr. Kathleen Walls, who is a clinical psychologist, is going to be there to talk to people about the necessity and need for culturally competent mental wellness. She is also a children's book author. So we are going to allow her, she has a book series called The Adventures of Froggy T and Bunny. And so if you've got little ones that might be coming along with you, don't worry about them being, bored at all this adult health stuff going on. She's going to do story time in a corner for the little ones and expose them to her book series. We have the women of the SIFT 215 Media Collective have done a short film program that is talking about various aspects of how COVID impacted our community. It's a series of 4 short films they call the COVID 1619 Project. And so we're going to be screening that in the room. Our good friends, and Carol is very familiar with this, at the Recording Academy, the Music Hairs program, which a lot of people are unfamiliar with. For creatives, this fund is designed to get emergency funding for musicians that are going through health crises. And so they're going to be on site to hand out information and talk to people about this crucial resource for professional musicians.
Yes.
Gabe Bryant, many of you are familiar with as the director of the Engaging Males of Color initiative for the city's Department of Behavioral Health. I've been working with Gabe for a lot of years. If you're not familiar with EMOC, we know that sisters, we will wrap each other up and we will tell each other when things are going on, like that circle of love that helped me. But our brothers in particular, if they are dealing with mental wellness issues, they are the last people to go in and seek care for themselves. But there's a whole initiative out of our city's Department of Behavioral Health that is designed for them, messaging specifically for them. So he's going to be on site to talk to people about their programming and their film projects. A lot of what they did, instead of doing just the kind of open forums and conversations, COVID forced them to think how they design some of these interventions and programs. And so they've done a lot of work with film and video. And so, we'll have some of that available for you all to see as well. My good friend Karen Taylor Bass is a certified yogini.
Yes.
She's gonna come in. We're going to do a little mini chair yoga session. So wear some comfortable clothes when you come out, and just 15 minutes in a chair. So if some of you have some mobility issues, not a big deal. Chair yoga and breathing exercises to get us in that right frame of mind, to help teach us how to de-stress. Because a lot of what we have, this dis-ease that we are dealing with, is because we are carrying so much stress in our bodies for all the things that are happening in our lives. And one of my favorite components of the event is a sound therapist.
Yes.
If you didn't know that this was such a thing, our closing activity of the day is going to be a sound bath. And so singing bowls and breathing exercises, all those things before we walk back out into the West Philly streets and get on with our day. We want to make sure that we are treated to that kind of experience. And a lot of us, we won't go seek out these things on our own. They seem a little too frou-frou, or we don't know who to go to. All of these practitioners look like you and me. And they're going to be there to talk to you about these services, holistic health assessments, a holistic dentist, which I did not even know existed.
I did not know until this moment that there was a holistic dentist.
Yes, because what we are taught about fluoride is not necessarily good for our bodies.
That's true. And I did hear that.
Fluoridated water, we get fluoridated toothpaste, all these things. It's not necessarily good for us. So there is a holistic dentist right on City Avenue who uses different methods and practices to make sure that our teeth are together. So,
we need to talk to him. We need, or her. We need to talk to, we need to have,
it's a husband and wife.
Oh, see that? Even better. We need to talk with them. We need to know this. You know what? Okay. So this just sounds like a must. Okay. A must, because this is self-care. This is self-care at its core. Everything that you just described is self-care at its core. And quite honestly, you're talking about principles, practices that our grandparents, I know my grandparents and great grandparents practiced. So I know. Now, you mentioned before, because I'm looking at the time and I want to make sure, you mentioned earlier about your podcast. Do you still host your podcast?
Yeah, well, so right, I have a whole streaming station, but we are definitely videotaping this first event, and I say first event, right? This is the first ever.
I was going to ask that.
With a health and wellness symposium. But we wanted, because we felt it was so urgent. Since Azelle passed, we have lost at least 5 more people under the age of 50 in the Philadelphia cultural community to preventable diseases. So the need for this is huge.
It is
and we understand that not everybody is going to be free during this holiday season on a Saturday to come out to this. So this is the first ever, but we are planning. We've already reserved the URL. So we're going to have a whole website.
What is,
the resource.
Wait, I'm so sorry to interject. Wait a minute, because look, I'm looking at the time. We've got like 3 minutes. What is their number? Is there what?
Yes, the website is tinyurl.com.
Okay.
/SickWitItInfo. Okay, so no H on the with. SickWitItInfo. Okay, tinyurl.com /SickWitItInfo. And that's where you can read about all of the different practitioners that will be on site and RSVP for the event. And I want to make sure if people aren't there yet, we are also carving out some time to grieve those we've lost. And so our friends at Philly Soul Now are going to be joining with us. And Karen Smith, Pew Fellow, 2023 Pew Fellow, Karen Smith is going to be drumming and helping to give us some musical libation so that we can remember those that we have lost.
Stephanie, first of all, thank you again. I mean, that just doesn't seem like enough in this moment, but thank you as a human being, as a woman, as a creative, because this event is so necessary, so overdue, so necessary. I will keep you in prayer for your continued health journey as well. I thank you for your transparency and for sharing with us, because you have no idea what the fire that you just lit under me. So thank you for that. Thank you for those, for our family members who can't say thank you right now. I'm thanking you for them as well. So many things are going through my mind right now, but family, what I want to share with you is about the Sick Wit It Health Symposium, which will take place on Saturday, December 16th from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the newly relocated Painted Bride, which is located now at 5212 Market Street, right here in Philadelphia. We all need to be there, family. We all need to be there. Okay. We all need to be there. tinyurl.com /sick with it info. Thank you, Miss Julie, for posting that. Thank you so much. And to all of our family members who have a family member that is healing, that is in the midst of a journey, that is in the beginning, near the end of one, navigating it. Just, my love goes to you as well. My love goes to you as well, because we're all dealing with something. We're all dealing with something. So when I tell you that I love you, just know that I do. Just know that I mean it. You hear me? And it's not necessary for us to all share what we're going through, but just know that the love is there. You hear me? Just know that the love is there. Steph, I thank you again, and I hope you'll come back and share with us about the symposium and about what's coming up in the future as well. Family. Family, praise God. Just praise him, praise him, praise him. From whom all blessings flow. You hear me? Thank you again, Stephanie. Thank you to our guest in our first hour, Lamont Jones. I thank you to the entire WURD family. Thank you especially to Niall Jackson, Nick Steptoe, for all that you do. I'm going to say it, family, because I tell you every day and because I mean it with every fiber of my being. Just remember that we're all in this together, okay? So be good to you, but be good to those around you. I thank you all for all the love that you shared about the show this past weekend. I did see the messages. I truly did. I did. I love you as well. Family, know that I love you, but God loves you so much more. Don't you ever, ever, ever forget that. Okay? Y'all have a great rest of your night, and you be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Have a good night, family.